Welcome to another episode in West Texas. I'm currently just outside the town of Alpine where I spent the night, and I'm headed over towards Fort Davis and then the McDonald Observatory. Just got out of the mountains and into the desert, so I thought I'd turn my camera on and see what I'm about to see as I go down the road. Just as I started into the mountains, there was a warning sign, or a caution sign, I guess you would say, on the side of the road with a symbol of an elk on it. I had no idea that elk lived anywhere in Texas, let alone right here. The wind is extremely gusty today. I think the weather said it was 20 to 30 miles an hour, and when I was down in the valley coming out of Alpine, I had a strong side wind from my left, and it was strong enough I had my bike leaned over towards the left quite a bit, just to keep it upright and going in a straight line. So I'm hoping that as the day goes by, that the wind might let up, but that remains to be seen. At least up here in the mountains and in these valleys, it's not gusting like it is down below. Although at about 76 degrees or so, it's fairly comfortable right now. Well, this is certainly totally different than what I experienced yesterday in my ride from, where did I come from? Curville, down to Del Rio, then Del Rio to Alpine. No hills like this anywhere along the way. I could see some hills way out in the distance, but so this is an interesting change. Well, that was certainly surprising. Damn vultures again, buzzards, whatever you want to call them. But what caught my attention was off to the right, there was a whole bunch of elk in the field. My eyes wide open for that. Well, this is a find. My mojo's a little off today. I don't know why. It's just because of the way my bike's loaded down with all my gear. And that does definitely affect the handling. Whoa. Felt my rear wheel slip out a little bit there. And move sideways an inch or too. Caught whatever that groove was in the pavement there. Well, nice views back down below. Well, that'd be a nice place to sit and have your lunch, or just a snack. Gaze down into that valley. Well, I'll tell you, I am certainly amazed. I had never in the world expected to have riding like this in Texas. Even though I lived in Texas, up North Texas is a whole different than this here. And to have a road like this to ride with no traffic, holy cow, I'm in heaven. This is just too good. reckon this is a good time to stop this video because I'm going to go over here inside, take a look around, I'll see what I can see, and find out about the observatory here. Stop recording.